Joe, a dedicated farmer, faced an extraordinary morning that began with a sense of unease. Awoken by a thunderstorm, Joe's heart raced as he felt something was wrong. He quickly ran to the stable to check on Daisy, his cherished mare, who was heavily pregnant. The sight that greeted him confirmed his fears. Daisy was in labor, and her anguished cries signaled that this was no ordinary birth. Joe, who had witnessed many births on his farm, knew instinctively that something was seriously amiss. Daisy's distress was unbearable to witness. She paced restlessly, breathing heavily, and her eyes were filled with terror. Joe tried to calm her, but realized he needed expert help. Rushing back to the farmhouse, he dialed the local veterinarian, Dr. Sarah. His hands trembled as the phone rang, and when she finally answered, her groggy voice brought a glimmer of hope. Joe explained the urgency of the situation, and Dr. Sarah promised to come immediately, instructing him to keep Daisy as calm as possible. As Joe prepared to return to Daisy's side, a commotion in the nearby field caught his attention. His prized stallion, Jazz, had escaped from the pasture and was galloping wildly in the rain. Joe's heart sank as he saw Jazz's eyes wide with terror. Determined to prevent any harm to the stallion, Joe sprinted toward the field. To his shock, he noticed a shadowy figure crouching near the damaged fence, an intruder who had likely caused the chaos. Realizing the person might have been trying to steal Jazz, Joe shouted and gave chase, but the dense forest provided cover, and the intruder disappeared. Joe refocused on Jazz, knowing the powerful stallion could injure himself if left in his panicked state. With quick thinking, he fetched a bucket of grain from a nearby shed, using its familiar scent to calm Jazz. Gradually, Jazz relaxed and approached Joe, who carefully secured him with a lead rope. Breathing a sigh of relief, Joe led Jazz back to safety, his mind already racing with concern for Daisy. He hurried back to the stable, praying that Dr. Sarah would arrive in time to help. Upon returning, Joe found that Daisy's labor had progressed significantly, and her anguished neighs echoed through the stable. He paced anxiously outside, unable to bear seeing his beloved mare in such pain. Suddenly, a sharp cry from Daisy jolted him into action. Bracing himself for the worst, Joe entered the stable and was met with a breathtaking sight. To his amazement, not one but two tiny foals lay beside their exhausted mother. Twin births in horses are extraordinarily rare, with odds of 1 in 10,000, and Joe was left speechless by the miraculous event. His awe was short-lived as he noticed one of the foals struggling to breathe. The fragile newborn's labored breaths filled Joe with dread. Dr. Sarah arrived just in time and immediately assessed the situation. She explained that the foal needed urgent medical care and swiftly prepared to transport it to her clinic. Joe helped her carefully load the delicate foal into the car, his heart heavy with worry as they made the short but tense drive to the veterinary clinic. At the clinic, Dr. Sarah worked with precision and care. She examined the foal's lungs, cleared its airways, and administered oxygen and medication. Joe paced the room, his anxiety growing with each passing second. Every shallow breath from the foal felt like an eternity to him. Finally, Dr. Sarah gave him a reassuring nod, telling him that the little one was a fighter and would recover. Joe's overwhelming relief brought tears to his eyes as he thanked her for saving the newborn. With the foal stabilized, they returned to the farm to reunite it with its mother and twin. As they entered the stable, Daisy greeted the fragile foal with gentle nudges, while its sibling curiously approached. The scene was heartwarming, and Joe felt a deep sense of gratitude and awe. Reflecting on the morning's events, the storm, Jazz's escape, the intruder, and Daisy's challenging birth, Joe was reminded of how unpredictable farm life can be. Yet, amidst the chaos, he also saw the resilience of life and the profound bond between humans and animals. Witnessing the miraculous birth of twin foals was a moment he would cherish forever.